Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Had to get on here on a late wee hours of the Saturday night to congratulate Tyler Herro for winning the three-point contest, becoming the fifth Miami Heat player in history, an NBA record, fifth player in Miami Heat history to win the three-point shootout. Joins Glenn Rice, Daquan Cook, Jason Capono, James Jones, and now Boy Wonder amongst all of them. Very goosey things in this. I think my favorite video out of all of it, though, was for Pat Riley. Pat Riley was sitting there with his wife. You could see him pop out of the seat, just really excited for Tyler Herro. Everybody feels good for Tyler Herro. You know, this is his first All-Star weekend. Second time participating in the event. The Heat, you know, have had since their run where they had done it 4 times, which had tied an NBA record. You had Wayne Ellington in it, Duncan Robinson, and Tyler Herro previously. Now Tyler Herro gets it done. Did somebody bet him plus 600 today? Perhaps, dude. Perhaps we did. Perhaps we did on the old Hard Rock app. And that is maybe a reason I'm even happier as well. But, dude, it was one of those where just a great second round by him. And, you know, you can see both Darius Garland and Buddy Hield, they got the squeaky cheeks. And they knew they had big scores that they had to go tie Tyler Herro. They were, you know, chipping in some money balls. And Buddy Hield had a moment where, you know, it looked like, all right, got off to a good start on the money rack. You got to hit those starries, dude. Tyler Herro hit the starry balls. He knew what it was. A really cool moment for him, man. You know, he has put the term soaking it all in, which he should. You know, it's for a weekend like this, at his point in his career, all the work that he's put in, all the things that he's put behind him. Very, very impressive. By the way, I saw somebody post on Instagram their new teammate on the three-point contest, but didn't post the winner. Oh, well. He did get some congratulations, though, around Dwayne Wade. He posted on social media, yes, sir. He had Bam Adebayo coming out there with some goosey tweets about it. He posts the go home, you lost meme from Tyler Herro. Then, of course, you have Kevin Love, who's throwing up the scene from 8 Mile. Mickey Arison, of course, the new Hall of Fame finalist, showering Tyler Herro with some love. But this was my favorite part, I think, out of all of this. And that was a quote from Tim Reynolds of the Miami Herald that Tyler Herro gave about Pat Riley, as you saw in this video of Pat Riley. And he says, I was happy I won, obviously, but I think it hit me after seeing Pat up here. We pointed to each other. I know how much he believes in me, for real, and that means a lot. Goosies. That's goosies galore, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you don't get the goosies from that, you're dead inside. I mean, that's flat out what it is. So it was a needed moment. You know, this team has been down in the dumps, and I think Tyler Herro put it well afterwards where he says, you know, there's fresh air around the organization. All of it felt like it needed to decompress the way that those last 4 games went since the Butler trade. You're very hopeful that having something like this, even Josh Christopher being there celebrating with him, that a moment like this can just be good morale overall once they get back together, get some time away, but then get back together for practice. I think all of that stuff is really, really great for the organization. And, you know, this player deserves it in particular. He's worked very, very hard. And honestly, the funny thing about it was in probably his worst shooting slump of the season to this point. You know, it wasn't that he wasn't scoring, but his three-point shot had basically been erased for like the last handful of games. And to go put a performance like this against the best shooters in the world, even in a field with Damian Lillard. And then it also, saved the night because I didn't even feel like I had to watch the dunk contest. Congratulations to Mac McClung, though, you know, doing the doing the Blake Griffin. That was cool. That was fun. But this one in particular felt like just a little extra juice, a little something for Boy Wonder, Baby Goat, Big T. Getting this one done was really, really cool. And I think the fans needed something. I think that this gives the fan base a nice little boost over the weekend. Because we've been, nobody wants to be down in the dumps at all times. We're talking about loss after loss and trades and all this stuff. And is this going to work together? It's mind-numbing, dude. Nobody wants to see that. We want to get the goosies. We want to celebrate. We want a good moment. And we also love hitting our bets, baby. But so cool. And I love the moment. There's a couple of moments that were really cool behind the scenes with all of this for Tyler. I think, first of all, I love seeing the behind-the-scenes video of him with the kids. That's I'm a sucker for that stuff. That's, whenever there's a moment where, as a dad, you're inspired by your kids, that's friggin' goosies. Love that. But then also just, the vulnerability of, I was nervous going into the first round. Then afterwards, he's so adorbs because he's like, oh, I was nervous because Buddy had a chance there at the end. Yeah, there's a lot of good shooters there, man. There are a lot of good shooters that he took down. But this dude, look, he's among the best. There's no doubt about it. The crown will probably always belong to Steph Curry until he decides to retire. Damian Lillard's obviously a beast, but he's as good right now in this season than anybody has been. And from the standpoint of the leadership that he's grown into, that's been great too. And I think that especially taking a lot of the young guys, he's been in that position. He's had to harbor being a guy who they can all turn to in this situation, being the all-star of the team. Even if he's not the captain, I think that he's done a great job of providing a lot of those guys as a sounding board for all this, which is, I think, why you see all the support from his teammates. They're all very, very happy for a guy who works his ass off, who has to deal with a lot of doubters, and he's got this. And I think he says for the season, he says, honestly, I think the record isn't what it should be, but I feel like there is a breath of fresh air in our locker room and around our city. There's a breath of fresh air in our city. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This was an interesting quote, though, that Tyler gave afterwards. He says, honestly, our record isn't what it should be, but I feel like there's a breath of fresh air around our locker room, our arena, and our city. I think that before the trophy was won, I think that there's a breath of fresh air around the whole organization, and I'm happy to represent us, and be here for our organization and our city to represent and to win this championship. Yeah, it was so necessary to get something like this. And look, I understand the rat bastards out there is going to scoff, oh, it's a 3-point contest. Blah, 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 blah. First of all, congratulations. You nailed it with your take there. But in these all-star things, they have usually bared fruit of positive things for the Miami Heat. The year that the very controversial slam dunk contest, there was Daquan Cook, that Derek Jones won when Bam won the skills competition, ended up being a good year. James Jones, the year that he won it, ended up being a good year. So, yeah, it doesn't, I think, reflect necessarily on what the record is, but I do think that the Heat need something good to grab onto around them. They need something, and I think that this guy in particular, in a year that has been hellacious with everything that they've dealt with, this guy was called out by Pat Riley. This guy was also called out by Pat Riley and called fragile by Pat Riley. And you can see still, though there's no, money bad feelings because there's nothing there to be feeling bad about right now, you're called fragile by the head of your organization. It could go two ways there. And it's not the first time that he's been called out. You know, Pat Riley would say this back in the day where he's, you know, when Tyler was talking about, like, you know, don't sleep on me, it was like, well, listen, go show him. He's also given the tough love lessons to Tyler Herro, which is, I think, why there's that respect that he's got for him. And is the fresh air going to bear a clearer atmosphere to go off and do this? So far, it hasn't, but I will give the Heat an opportunity to gather themselves and get off the canvas a little bit, because it is been a much harder adjustment after the trade, whereas in Golden State, they got some soft landing games. They have a guy who basically is plug and play as they get and can kind of march to his own beat. He's a veteran, as opposed to on Miami's side, you had two just heavyweights they had to take on out of the gate. Bringing him in with a younger team, with a guy who doesn't necessarily have that alpha takeover star persona that does have to feed his wind, who's also been personally going through a bunch with his kid just being born. So nobody wants to hear it, and I don't necessarily know if it's going to mean anything, because the Miami Heat could still be mid, and they could still be 500, and they could still be wheezing as a play-in team. All that can be true. But you got to be you're hopeful that a night like tonight will just catapult going into this next 30 games or so, and see where the chips fall after that. But very interesting quotes from Tyler Herro about the fresh air around all of it. I don't think that goes unnoticed by any means whatsoever. But tonight is not a night for petty. Tonight is a night to celebrate. Heat Nation, Tyler Herro, your all-star, wins the 3-point contest.